5 Factors Required by the Professional Performer by Krishna's Mercy. Mach chitta mad gat prana bodhyantah parasparam kathayantash cha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Quote, "The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are surrendered to me, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss, enlightening one another and conversing about me." Lord Krishna, Bhagavad-gita 10:9. This hypothetical situation takes us to the world of entertainment, on the largest of scales, where the performer has millions of followers throughout the world. The sphere of influence crosses over to smash any boundaries that might exist due to geographical region, language, religion, and even gender. Young and old, man and woman, student and professional. They all turn out to see this performer, whose popularity has grown throughout the years. This individual started out playing in smaller venues. They took whatever gig they could find. If only on stage for 5 minutes, they valued the experience. Today they can sell out the most famous arena in the world for up to 5 nights in a row. Within the context of a general conversation with this person, a few factors come to light. This serves as sort of the foundation for their way of life. If entertaining were compared to a business, these factors would be necessary for the continued success of the operation.
1. A venue. I have played too many small places to keep count. A bowling alley, a local training facility for boxing. I was literally standing in the ring. Sometimes they placed me in the middle of the floor of a restaurant, without a microphone. I guess they expected me to magically reach the people, to transform my act so that words are no longer required. Anyway, that is the first thing I look for. I need a good venue. I can play the large arenas now, which is crazy to think about. The same places that host the hockey teams, basketball teams, and well-known recording artists are now being sold out for my act. It is humbling, for sure, but exciting at the same time. I hope I can keep this up. 2. A stage. For this particular tour, we have the stage in the middle. You could call the setup in the round. For my line of work, this presents a unique challenge. It means that wherever I am standing, at least 3/4 of the audience will not be in front of me. To account for the gap in direct vision, we have to add some bells and whistles to the presentation. Lights, pyrotechnics, props, and a big screen. But yeah, the stage is everything. Especially if I am recording a special to later be distributed to the public, the backdrop, the clothes, and the lighting have to be a certain way. 3. An audience. Needless to say, there have to be people in the seats. I can tell how the show is going by their reactions. I can direct the material to certain areas based on that response. If I had to play to an empty room, I am not sure there would be much fun in it. Even if people paid me, I am not sure I could do that for living. That makes you appreciate the actors more, who sit on set for hours in a day to shoot a scene that lasts only 5 minutes. 4. New material. I have been doing this for a while, but I need to keep up with the times. People will not show up if they have heard everything before. When the tour is over, I take a few months off to lock myself into the creative process. I have to constantly push the barriers. I do not want to become stale or boring, as has been known to happen with famous performers. 5. A repeat of the same. What is next? You want to know where I can go from here? Well, I have to keep doing what I am doing. There is no other way. I need everything to fall into place. It is working out today, but everything can change tomorrow. That is why many people try and eventually give up in this business.
Imagine, then, if we could find an occupation where we have a similar desire to produce content, to discuss topics, to exercise our intellect, but without any of the above requirements. We could have a gig every single night if we wanted. It would be the most amazing performance whether anyone shows up or not. The stage could be a seat on the floor. The venue could be a room in the home. While the material focuses on a particular subject area, the applicability to the words spoken is endless. The Sanskrit word is ananta. This can also be used to describe the subject matter itself, who is also without beginning, anadi. The situation we describe can exist in reality. It is the gift offered by the Acharya who represents the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They do not rescue others through an exchange of money, a magical touch, or some promise to pay with an effective date far into the future. Rather, they can help to change consciousness immediately. Right now, today, I can find a better way to live. बिगड़ी जन्म अनेक की सुधरई अबहीं आजू, हो ही राम को नाम जपू तुलसी तजी कुसमाजू. Quote, the many past births you spoiled can be rectified right now, today, if you start chanting Sri Rama's holy name and renounce bad association, says Tulsi. Dohavali 22. That better way of living is worshiping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is a natural way of life since it aligns with our essential characteristic. Our dharma is to serve, and dharma as a regulated discipline for self-improvement focuses on service to the Supreme Lord. More than checking a box on a form, receiving a stamp of approval from a minister, or giving regular attendance at a house of worship, we serve God in everything that we do. Bhagavad-gita describes how devotees feel in this process. They derive great transcendental pleasure, ramanti. They may talk amongst themselves about how great God is. Since he is all-attractive and of a dark complexion while residing in the spiritual realm of Vaikuntha, he can be addressed as Krishna. Since this devotion is dharma, the traditional barriers to formal engagement do not apply. I can have a show every night if I want. I can choose a single shloka from a sacred text like Bhagavad-gita, Bhagavad Puran, or Ramayana and talk about it for hours. I can really absorb the words, contemplate the meaning, and see how the principles apply to life as I have experienced it thus far. The transcendental enjoyment has no limit. It is not capped. They say that Krishna is Nava Yauvanam in appearance. He is always fresh and new, and the same properties extend to discussions about him. This explains the voluminous nature to Vedic literature, which has the ultimate purpose of lifting the distressed out of darkness and into the light. In closing, any gig I can take for a performance to make. Audience there should be, with new material to see. Imagine following the same, but with chanting holy name, and Bhagavad-gita to discuss, infinitely blissful thus.